Hey there guys, it's Jeremy with the Level Designer, and I am here making another video for the Overwatch map that I've been making in Unreal Engine, particularly Unreal Engine 5. So we're still working with the new iteration of Unreal Engine, and as you can see, my setup here is a little bit more different. I got a new desk that provides me a little bit more room, and I had to kind of rearrange things in my room, so um, that's a bit different. And I'm just recording in the middle of the week. One thing that I've been doing with these videos is I've been trying to kind of record more on the weekends, just so I have a little bit more time. But I think it doesn't hurt to try to shoot videos at other times of the day. Especially it's getting kind of dark out. I usually like to record when it's light out, but I don't even know if that's going to be possible because I was testing the camera out, and when it was light outside, excuse me, it was light out, you couldn't really see me. So we're gonna try to shoot these relatively later, and that's usually when I think the most alert and whatnot. So with that in mind, let's continue to build this Overwatch level. As you can see here, we kind of have our basic layout made in Photoshop, and last time we started to work on this kind of alleyway with the MetLife building, and that's something that I really want to try to continue with. I feel like I spent a lot of time kind of just getting this area kind of hollowed out, but I think I'm going to add some more stuff. Maybe some walls here and a doorway, just so it's not as humongous, because I think when we're like a normal player, like this is kind of the view that we have, and this is just really giant. So I think I'm gonna eventually really tighten this space up, but I might open it up a lot more in this kind of on this level, and add like some cars. But one of the things I want to really focus on, and I'm going to bring this kind of this side on my second monitor over here, that my camera is on now, so I'm not going to be looking straight at the camera. I'm going to probably be working more off the side here. I don't know if that's going to look better for the videos, but we'll experiment and see how the quality of these go. But again, I really want to work on just this area right here, kind of the transition to this space. And then also we might want to add some more to this and start closing these areas off. But I think first let's start with this right here. Geez, if I remember right, go to brush editing, and then we go to geometry, and there we can go, and we have this here, and then we have we kind of have another street here that we're gonna eventually close this off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start just placing blocks. I don't know, I haven't really felt so just like, oh, I'm just gonna try to just place general blocks places, but for some reason, there we go. I don't know, I feel like if we just, I don't know if this is gonna it's kind of being a bit laggy there. I don't want it to be laggy, but yeah, we're just gonna start to place blocks, and just hope that, you know, kind of the outline of what the city would look like is gonna look fine. So I'm just gonna start to make just general building shapes and get a good sense of all of the different buildings. So there we go. I don't know. I feel like Unreal Engine 5 is really chugging along. I don't really know why. But we'll work with it this episode, and I might play around more with it. But so we have a good kind of building there. What we could probably do is just duplicate. Maybe, yeah, Control D. So if we hit Control D, I should duplicate the building for us, and then we can just go in and just resize it a little bit more. So let's just go in and do that. And again, we want to make as much of these buildings feel different, especially in like size and whatnot. So, you know, we don't want it to be the exact height for sure. I might bring this down a little bit. Not by a lot, but I might even just bring in, well, I don't really know. I mean, it's probably not gonna really look that much different. Yeah, that might just make it look kind of weird. We'll just have it be a perfect square. And then what I'm also going to do is we have this kind of corner. So what we'll want to probably do actually is select this, because this is going to be like our sidewalk or curb or whatever, right? So we're going to actually move this back. And we're actually going to make sure that it's back quite a ways. Like that. Cool. And then hit extrude, and then you'll want to just extrude it once. And then if you want to make this an L-shaped object, I just hit edit and then just select this, just so you don't accidentally extrude something you don't want to. And hit extrude again, and extrude, and then go back to edit, and then again, we might want to do this later. So what you could do is just bring this all the way down here, and then just leave another square area so we could extrude again and then make yet another kind of curb area. That way, you know, we're not working on, we don't have like a bunch of different blocks, even though we do. We have like, we have over 100, we have about 130. But again, why create more shapes if we don't need to? So we're gonna kind of just keep doing that, and we might even extrude this side too. Just go whoop, or just bring that out. I might extend this all the way out here. Again, so let's just hit edit. So all we gotta do is just edit that one side. And then, let me see. We'll just bring this all the way out here again. This is actually gonna be kind of like a little side area. So what we're just gonna do is we're going to bring this and we're just gonna make this be a normal sidewalk. Or I mean not sidewalk, intersection. I don't know what I'm talking about today. But yeah. So we're gonna have that. Again, we're not gonna worry so much about the detail, especially in the blockout, because this is not gonna be an area that's accessible. And actually what we'll want to do is we'll want to create kind of a blockade here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, let me see. Oh, crap. We're going to take these 3 shapes here, and then we're going to duplicate them. It might take a while if your computer is on the fritz. It's weird, because my computer, I think, is pretty good. Shouldn't have too many issues with stuff, but you never know. So again, I'm just gonna mark out kind of just a general thing here. So I'm gonna just do this and just, what we might actually do is we might actually make another set of these objects and just have like 2 cars and 4 barricades. Just so it's wide enough. And again, that's not really gonna be, I mean, that's not gonna be really enough to like stop players specifically from keeping that, I mean, like the reason the reason why this force field works is because this is like nothing. This is just like a little area. I'm sure maybe someone would find like a someone would probably find a, excuse me, could maybe find a glitch to get in here at some point, but for a blockout, I'm not gonna really worry too much about that. So I'm just gonna kind of worry on these things. Again, they're not perfect. Like this barricade's kind of sticking in between the sidewalk. Again, for a blockout, I'm not too worried about little things like that. But I'm gonna duplicate these again. That might take a while, but and I'm gonna try to find, there we go. Little rotate it just a bit. And then just find the move tool with W, and then we can just drag it. Whoa. That's not what I wanted. That's what I want. So we'll kind of do that. Again, this isn't gonna be like super perfect, but we can go in here. Maybe we can move this one just out like that. What we could even really do is there's like this block here. I don't know. But maybe we could just have like a bunch of just blocks behind it. Again, this could kind of create the opportunity for artists to do some environmental storytelling, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, I don't think, but you want to make sure that if you're just thinking about your shape, like just shapes, especially when considering, you know, different like borders and stuff for your levels, you want to make sure that it does eventually make sense, because then your stuff's probably just going to be kind of cut. I would assume that would be the case. But what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna add in just some blocks just to make things a little bit different. So once I duplicate this, I'm gonna just slide that to the side there. And first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it a little bit more smaller. And I'm gonna try to make it not so be the same, like, you know, rotation. The thing you want to keep in mind is you want to make things look kind of organic and not so uniform. And that's something that you can really play around with when you're dealing with shapes and whatnot. So again, we can go ahead and maybe duplicate this. And maybe instead of just blocks too, something that might be kind of interesting, I just thought about. So what if these were like storage containers? So what we could do is if we just delete that, because we're gonna actually keep these boxes uniform, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna space them out and just have these be storage containers. Again, the origin point for this is kind of wonky, so I'm just going up here and I'm hitting this globe to pull it into like local. I'm just gonna pull it out like that. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna delete that, and I might even make this a bit longer. And what I'll do is I'll just want to make this kind of easier on myself. So again, I'm just gonna extend this out a little bit more, and then what I'm gonna do is select it, and then I'm just gonna move it back just a bit. And the goal with this is to make it look kind of natural. So I'm just going to duplicate this one. And the goal is to have as few objects as possible. And if this was a storage container, we could have just maybe like 2 more and really just block out this area. And it would make sense of this could be supplies, this could be just some storage containers. I'm just gonna rotate this a little bit more to maybe give this, fit this in a way that's not going to overlap a lot of shapes, though we might have to go overhead and do that. I am losing my mind over here. So, I don't know, we might have to really play around with this. Again, it's not really, I have to really just have that be. But again, this is kind of the part of the process. You just want to make sure that it looks pretty good, possibly better. Never hurts to make things look as good as possible. But your biggest thing is you just want to sell ideas home and make things make sense. So what we could do is we'll duplicate this one. And we'll kind of stick one at the very kind of the middle. And hopefully we can kind of sell the idea that these are like storage containers. Though that would be probably a lot easier with like actual like maybe like a little openings. So I mean we could even go, excuse me, we could go even more in depth with something like that. But I think I'm just gonna play around with just the general shapes, just so we don't spend a lot of time on this. But again, I'm just gonna turn this around, and then I'm just gonna move this up. Those are our storage containers. Again, it's not perfect, and I'm sure that someone, you know, unless we make an invisible wall here, which is pretty immersion breaking, we might want to add more to this, but this is kind of a good start for it was just a general blockade, something that's not as high tech as these blockades. And I think these are the only 3 little blockades like this that we should keep in. If we add any more, like, we should do a lot more of this stuff right over here. And actually what we could do is we could do exactly that. We could, in theory, take all of this, I'll just make sure that's what I have, and we could duplicate it. And we just copy and paste this as many times as we want. We can move things around and just have this be underneath this catwalk, with the goal of making sure that nobody can pass through this. Now what we might need to do is we might need to fix the... We might have to just not have this like upper storage container. But what we can do though, to kind of like keep the keep people from going into inaccessible areas that they're not supposed to go into, is we can select this, and we just move this back and create like kind of an artificial wall where no one can like peek through this area, this side here. And of course we can really spread these out. And we'll want to try to play around with sticking these in as much as possible. And what we could even do, which I kind of like this idea, is we can even cut out like maybe a little some of this wall. So maybe if some of the other if some players want to get in on this action from here, they can. And that might present a pretty good opportunity for if someone was had a sniping character, like if this was Overwatch, they'd have a Widowmaker, and maybe they could peek around here and then shoot people coming out of this way. But it would be a lot more safer for people to get off through this building, or I don't even know if there is an opening for this. There's... Let's see. I mean, we might create like an opening here. I don't think that is too crazy to think of. And then we just have like another kind of connection go through here. So again, there's so many different ways that we can approach this. And I really like thinking about stuff like this because it's really, really great and dandy. But again, I'm gonna play around with this area. I know that we were I said that we are gonna focus around like the MetLife building, but I really don't know if I want to tackle that right now. So again, I'm just going with the flow. And again, I'm just gonna kind of copy and paste some stuff. Something like this might be pretty good. I might even rotate this. Like that. So these storage containers can be everywhere. So again, I just want to duplicate this. And another thing that I just thought about is we might not even have to worry too much about having all of this blocked. Again, I haven't played Overwatch in a while, but I know that, you know, you have your heroes like Farah, and I know like Diva, she can like there's heroes that can like fly around. And I think if you like go out of bounds, I want to say that you just die. So again, it might be a thing of like all you might really have to do to handle like the flying characters is just like keep make like make a volume in order to kill off any characters if they were to go into this area. But try to, especially like on a ground level, try to make this be like, oh, this is for sure like a this is a barrier that no one can go through. So again, I think what I might do too is well, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to keep that kind of rotated the way it is, but I'm going to move that I'll move that over here. I'm going to do something about this area here that might be kind of a good idea. I don't know. We'll have to kind of play around with it. But what I want to do is I want to spin these around and have these be kind of cover that could be available for people. I know that Overwatch doesn't really use cover in kind of the traditional sense, so I don't know if it's really going to be something that we need to worry too much about. Because I don't know, every time I've played Overwatch, I usually just use like walls for cover and like the payload if it's going, and that's it. So yeah, I don't know. It's something. We're gonna go ahead and delete some of these though. We'll delete the middle ones, and we'll just keep kind of the out ones, and we'll kind of keep this area open a bit. And why we're gonna keep this open is there's a few things I want to do. That I hope I can use to kind of create some more kind of dynamic movement. So we're gonna kind of keep this open, but one thing that I want to do is I want to go here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a box. And I'm going to make this be subtractive. I'm just going to have this go up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut holes into this balcony and make it try to make this look as kind of unnatural as possible. So the way that, and I have done this kind of stuff a lot with like my World War II video thing, but the thing that I want to try to do is I want to try to cut like an area of damage, and this might actually sound kind of make more sense once I do it, but I just want to cut out like a good section. I think that is pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to that as well, and I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm just going to move it like that. Might even... I might even move it just a tad like that. Yeah. That doesn't look too bad, actually. I'm gonna add in another, I am gonna add in another just box. I probably won't scale this the same way, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and try to I'm trying to think if I want to do this. That's cool. I'm gonna turn on the local origin movements. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna make this probably a little bit more fatter. Make it kind of hamburger shaped. And then I'm just going to select it. I hit subtractive again. I'm just gonna kind of, I'm trying to make a little bit of a nicer transition in the bottom of the hole, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create kind of a container that's going down. This is something that actually I think they've done in the Route 66 map for Overwatch 1. Or like just outside of the diner, there's a bunch of those containers that you could actually, I think they're train cars or something where you can actually walk through. So that's something that I kind of want to just play around with, see, you know, if we can get anything out of that. Again, we might even raise that up. I just completely cut out most of the stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty decent. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to add in, let me see, we're going to duplicate start spinning this around, and we're gonna try to get a good little ramp going up and down going. So again, I just want to make sure that this is all kind of in the correct spot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn this around. I think this is good. So now I want to play around with the angle. So I'm gonna start tilting this up. Again, we want to try to keep it maybe around there. We want to make sure that's not too steep though, because if we keep it too steep, what's going to end up happening is our players will not be able to like walk on it. So that's something that we kind of keep in mind. Again, so you see kind of the end here is not looking particularly good. And what we could do is just kind of mirror that up. So if we just kind of go over here, so this is pretty good. We still want to make sure that people can like go around it and whatnot. So we might even have that go out even further. I think that's great. I think people could still kind of go there. That's kind of still kind of broken. I think it blends a lot more without looking like it's directly attached. But one thing that we're gonna have to change is we're gonna have to change this car, and that's fine. And then we'll want to take this side, again, we'll want to take this to like the local space. And then just where that corner hits the ground, that's where we want to have our new thing there. So yeah, so we have that going, but we're not done yet. We have to create an opening for this. And that's just as easy as... Well, we could do that, or we can make it a lot more easier on ourselves. What I mean by that is we could delete that shape. If it wants to get deleted. Yep. And we can actually duplicate this. And we should be able just to... just size it down, really. Do one of these. Just go down like that. Go down maybe one like that. But on this, we'll go out one. And then we'll change that to subtractive. And hopefully what that will do is that will create a nice little storage container for us. So, yeah. And people can go up it. People can go down it. It's looking pretty nifty. But again, we don't want to stop there. We want to kind of add some more stuff to behind this, especially if we want people to not go back there. So I'm going to duplicate this car, and I'm just going to put this directly below the dumpster here, and kind of give the sense that this dumpster just crushed this car. So what I'm going to do is just put that there. Again, we don't want to have these kind of poking out, so I'm just going to drag those. what we could actually do is we could actually have it like, I don't know, we could do a lot of things here just with plain basic shapes. We could drag this in a bit. And maybe we can extrude. And then with the extrude, maybe we just well, I want it to look kind of a bit more like a crushed car. So I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna move this out maybe a bit more. And with this, I'm gonna try to lift this up. So again, I'm gonna try to go into like world space. I'm just gonna try to maybe lift that up, maybe. And lift it kind of like, maybe, I have no idea. I'm just trying to play around with just shapes and stuff, and I don't know. But there's a car down there. You know, maybe got crushed by the container. And then we'll want to probably add in another storage container. So if we just duplicate this one. Just spin it around. And we can kind of fine tune it once it's underneath the bridge there. Again, we want to make sure that it's not overlapping any pre-existing shapes. Especially because we can use that to our advantage. So like right here, we could just create another wall. And we'll just spin it. This will make sure it's not overlapping the catwalk. That's good. And what I might even do here is I might even add in another kind of layer on top of this. So I might even add in another layer of container up here. And then maybe like place it kind of in between these. So, maybe just stacking it like all the way just on the middle here. And rotate it a bit to make it look a little bit more different. Of course, like one does. And with that in mind, what we could do as well is we could have one that's maybe tipped over and fell or something. So with that, we could duplicate this. And maybe tilt it up. build space, and then we'll just place this kind of, trying to place in a way that makes sense for this area here. So again, we want to make sure that this lines up. Maybe this building, kind of probably maybe go right there. I'll want to move it down. I think right there would be good. And we'll just want to move it right there. We might have to make small adjustments too, but that won't be necessarily too much hassle. Okay, we just want to get kind of a good sense of these containers. Might even move this now over here, just so it's not digging in so much. Maybe we'll allow it to look a little bit more natural. Yeah, I'm really liking that actually. I like how just chaotic the containers are. We might even add in another container on the front here. It looks, well, no, maybe we should move it a bit. Just to, again, make it look a little bit more different. I want to make sure that we are leaving enough room for, like, all of the players. So if they want to hide behind this cover, they can. And if they want to hide behind this as cover, they can do that as well. And then all of this is going to be buildings along the Times Square side of things. So with that in mind, let's just take a quick play of this and see how it feels, and then we can stop the video. So here we go, we have our man. And then, again, we just want to kind of capture the sense of space, especially in an interior space like this. I'm liking that, though. And then here is the, here's the area. So we have this kind of wall here that we can't really look out of, which is fine. Maybe a little bit. But for the most part, it's kind of blocked off. We can't really go anywhere. I don't even think we can jump out of this. Well, we can, but we could like really close this off. And then here's that shipping container that we can go down, and then and of course maybe a sniper can be in that catwalk or along there and snipe us from here, but we can quickly get behind cover and advance forward. And maybe these cars are a bit big too. We could always tone those size of those down, but and we can get back up. Yeah, I think this is a really awesome little area. I think this is a really great use of the geometry tools that you have available in Unreal, because I think it allows you to really block out unique, kind of more organic shapes like this without having to really think too much about it. And of course, like, none of these brushes are something like, I think you'll want to convert all of these like geometry brushes. But yeah, I think that was kind of a great episode. I think this is a great opportunity to kind of have a stopping point. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed this video. I really hope you guys did too. And again, if you guys have any questions or any kind of suggestions for my videos or for any potential future episodes or anything, feel free to leave those as a comment down below. And also feel free to subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't, either subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on LinkedIn. A lot of these videos I put on LinkedIn just to kind of get my level design work out there and to hopefully connect with a lot more actual professionals in the field. I know that these videos have been getting a good amount of views, around I think 60 or 80 is a good number. So again, if you're sticking around and if you really enjoy these videos, please follow me on LinkedIn. I'll try to remember to post a link to my LinkedIn down below. And again, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any ideas or if you have any questions about level design, game design, Unity or Unreal, especially Unreal Engine 5. I'm always down to learning from all of the rest of you. So again, I want to thank everybody. I'm enjoying this really nice setup. I'd like to get some more videos out, and I don't know. I'd like to get to a point where I'm finishing off this Overwatch series of this Overwatch level that I'm making, but I would also like to jump in to some other levels just so I can mix things up a bit. But I'm enjoying making this Overwatch level. I think it's really fun, and it's just kind of nice to get the wheels spinning. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. I know I've been kind of going on a tangent here for a few minutes, but yeah, feel free to subscribe, follow me on LinkedIn, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or concerns or comments. But anyway, you have a great week, and I will see you next video. See ya. That's not what I was expecting. Bye-bye.